Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and here we are with another Thor Love and Thunder trailer video. In our first one we covered a lot of Easter eggs and characters that would be appearing in the movie, such as Jane Foster and also Gorr The Butcher. Huge thank you for getting that trending at number 2, and everyone who supports the channel is now my official friend from work. For this one though, we're going to be going over some of our theories surrounding it, as well as what we think could be happening in the movie. I'm recording this Tuesday morning when the trailer has roughly been online about 18 hours, so if there's something we don't cover, then make sure you leave it in the comments below, as I'd love to read it. If you choose to run towards the spoilers and not away from them, then this is the channel for you, so make sure you like it and subscribe for videos like this almost every day. Without the way, thanks for clicking this. Now let's get into Gorr Love and Thunder. Now strangely, the big bad of the film, Gorr, is completely missing from the first teaser and poster. Christian Bale has done his Batman disappearing trick, and after toys of him leaked online, he completely vanished from everything else surrounding the movie. Now in case you don't know, Gorr was devoted to the gods, but after his entire family died, he realized that they didn't actually care about the people that worshipped them. He then went on a killing spree throughout the cosmos, brutally murdering every one of them that he could. We actually see a lot of giants in the trailer that have been slain, and I think that this is teasing the aftermath of his killing spree along with the god that we'll see die in the movie. Now during the training montage, we see a giant skeletal figure slumped in chains. There's several in mythology that this could be, such as Prometheus and also Atlas. Prometheus was chained up, and every day birds would come in and eat his intestines until he died, and then when the day started over, he'd regenerate his organs and the whole thing would begin again. Atlas was a titan who was forced to hold the world up on his shoulders, and both of these were punishments put in place by Zeus, who we know will be played by Russell Crowe. MT from New Rockstars also said that it could be a Watcher, but whatever it is, it's clearly been dropped in to add this aesthetic of giant corpses in the trailer. Later on, just before Thor kisses the woman on the boat, we can see the body of a giant kraken behind him, and there's also Gorr the Behemoth, who shows up from the comics. In the source material, this was Thor's friend who was a victim of Gorr, and I think that he'll be going to Zeus to try and warn him about what's coming. Right after we dropped our trailer breakdown, the official synopsis came out, and in it we learned what the plot of the movie is. It states that Thor's journey for inner peace is interrupted by Gorr's rampage, and after he recruits King Valkyrie, Korg, and Jane Foster, they head out to stop him before it's too late. In the trailer, we can catch them walking towards a statue of Zeus, so I actually think that the shot of Jane at the end of the teaser happens pretty early on in the movie. I'd love to see Gorr show up to Olympus, and I think it would be such a massive moment if we were introduced to him through killing the King of the Gods. Watching the characters follow him on his killing spree only to come face to face with him doing this would be such a cool way to show the character for the first time, and I can just imagine Christian Bale making a massive entrance with him. Now Thor is going to need some help to take him down, and there's actually a shot in the trailer that looks like it might have a missing character in it. In it we see Thor and Korg standing side by side, and it seems like there's an empty space beside them that someone should be filling up. We've of course seen them hiding characters for trailers such as No Way Home, and one of the VFX artists that worked on the film recently spoke to Corridor Crew about the whole process. He said that you just hide the layer in the render and send it off to be cut into a trailer, and I think that the majority of the internet is well aware that this is something Marvel do a lot. Now if it is indeed the case, this opens up a lot of possibilities over who this could be. I've seen Deadpool mentioned, Loki, and Medic on Twitter said it's probably either a Drax or John Cena cameo. Yes, son of a bitch. Personally though, I think it could be Beta Ray Bill, who we're yet to meet in the MCU. However, his head could be seen in Thor Ragnarok on the Grandmaster's Tower, and he's definitely the kind of character you'd call to take on Gorr. In case you don't know, his home was destroyed by Surtur, who also appeared in Ragnarok, and his people, the Corbinites, no, not them, they chose him to be their champion. Lacing him with cybernetic parts, he became the most powerful of the race, and he's also used Stormbreaker, which would fit perfectly with this movie, as we know that Mjolnir is coming back. And the fact that Jane Foster is going to be a version of Thor in the film also makes me think that they might bring Bill in it as well. When we look at what the MCU is doing with Phase 4, they actually seem to be bringing in alternative versions of established characters, and this can be seen across a number of films and shows. We of course had Loki, which had Loki, Lady Loki, Kid Loki, Old Loki, Gator Loki, Boastful Loki, Vote Loki, and so on and so on. No Way Home had the 3 Spider-Men, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to have multiple versions of him, and we now have Thor Love and Thunder. With Jane becoming a version of Thor as well, it makes me think that they might bring in other versions of the character, and this would be the perfect way to debut Beta Ray Bill. In the trailer, Thor is also wearing his Thunderstrike outfit, and he actually ended up donning this after another Thor called Eric Masterson emerged on the scene. Just feels like Phase 4 in general is bringing in variations on what we already know, and I'd love to see that carried across in this movie too. How she got the hammer back together, we don't know, but I think that after Hela smashed it that the pieces would have remained behind. The material used to craft it, of course, was enchanted by Odin, who made it so that you had to be worthy in order to lift it. Therefore, I think that the pieces would have just stayed on the ground where Hela smashed it because nothing would be able to lift them. The site of this was actually at Tonsberg, which has appeared at several points in the MCU. It was where the Frost Giants invaded at the beginning of Thor, and it then showed up at the start of Captain America: The First Avenger. This was the hiding place of the Tesseract, which the Red Skull ended up storming. It was also the place where Odin died, and before he passed he told Loki and Thor that it was home. So Tonsberg is pretty important, and it's nice to see that it's now thriving and running tours. I think that this place might get attacked by Gorr's forces, who could potentially be the Brood. They've been in the comics for a long time and are absolutely terrifying. Not 100% if it's them, but the creatures behind Jane and Thor do look quite similar. This also looks like Tonsberg burning in the background, which may end up being the fire that Thor walks through at the start. I kind of feel like they're gonna attack, and that's when Thor and co will learn of Gorr's plan and they'll head out to try and warn everyone they can. Now, as you chums know, the best Easter eggs are often the ones that you leave in the comments below. I kind of want to go over some of the other ones that I missed in the trailer breakdown, which you spotted, because A, you're probably better at this shit than I am. Now, though we spot the Avengers logo on the cap that Thor was wearing whilst training, we didn't notice that this is actually a nod to the 1987 film Adventures in Babysitting. There's a scene in that where Vincent D'Onofrio is mistaken for Thor, and he's pretty much wearing the exact same style of clothes that Thor is wearing in the new teaser. There's also the running scene at the start in which we see his classic costume at one point. I really love this detail, but we didn't notice that the kid who starts off the scene might actually be Chris Hemsworth's son. Though this isn't confirmed, when the movie was being filmed, Chris dropped a post on his Instagram of the pair on set together, so I think it makes sense that they'd have him come in to play a young version of the character. Lastly is the cocktail sign on the boat that we see leaving New Asgard. I did notice this, but I had no idea that it's actually the Cocktails and Dreams sign from the Tom Cruise movie Cocktail. Huge thank you for everyone who dropped that in the comments, as I've never actually seen the movie, and I guess that's pretty much all you need to know about this movie channel. However, as a thank you, I'm going to give you an exclusive leaked image of Tom Cruise and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to end the video with. Drumroll please. Hey, we have a laugh at the channel, don't we? That's for everyone who said Lashana Lynch in the Doctor Strange trailer was actually Tom Cruise as Superior Iron Man. You punk, I got you, sucker. But hey, thanks I guess. Probably need to start being nicer to you guys, and hey, I'm just playing. You know I love you really, and thanks again so much for getting us trending. The love you show the channel really means so much, and I'm glad that you can have as much fun with it as we do, even if I like to play a prank on you from time to time. Bloody Tom Cruise and Doctor Strange. Anyway, that's the trailer. That's another joke, by the way, and I'd of course love to hear your thoughts on the teaser. We're running a competition right now and giving away 3 more copies of Spider-Man No Way Home on the 15th of May, and all you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the trailer. We pick the comments at random, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, then make sure you check out either our breakdown of Moon Knight episode 4 or the Thor trailer, which will be linked on screen right now. I had a lot of fun with both videos, so yeah, definitely go check it out, and let's just have a nice, relaxing, enjoyable week watching Marvel stuff. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Peace.